Hi, my name is Matthew Bellisario. Thanks for coming back by the BellisarioSonic YouTube channel from the heart of the Deep South on the outskirts of Birmingham, Alabama. We talk about records. We also play them. I'm excited to do a review of the complete Full House recordings of Wes Montgomery. So I'm going to be opening this up, dropping the needle on it, talking about the history of this, and we're going to listen to it together as we always do. Before I get started on this classic, though, I do recommend that you go back and check out the review for this Emirovitz Chroma album, a fantastic new modern jazz recording that I think deserves more attention. So go check this review out. And also, if you are into straight ahead jazz with great female vocalists, this Flying High album I also did a full review on. Go check that out. This really swings, and you've got a lot of great female jazz vocalists on here. Fantastic record. So go check that out. I'm trying to do a lot of reviews that promote modern jazz artists and their recordings, since they don't often get the recognition they deserve. So stay tuned. I have more of those coming, a lot of other new jazz recordings, records. But today we go back and we're going to be looking at this classic from 1962 on Riverside. This is a Craft 2023 release, and it was mastered by George Tarantino from the original analog tapes, but using a 24-bit 192K restoration. The lacquers are cut by Kevin Gray at Cohearent Audio, and these are 180-gram vinyl pressed at Optimal. So this was Wes Montgomery's sixth album for Riverside, and it was recorded at a small place called the Tsubo in Berkeley, California on June 25th, 1962. It featured the quintet that was included Wynton Kelly on piano, Johnny Griffin on tenor saxophone, Paul Chambers on bass, Jimmy Cobb on drums. And the Tsubo was a small club that was opened by a guy named Glenn Ross. I always like to go into a little bit of history of these because I find it fascinating about where these recordings were recorded at. And so this was a very short-lived club and was started in September of 1961. It was in the same building as the Berkeley Jazz radio station located on Telegraph and Russell Street. And short-lived, it closed on October 15th, 1962. And unfortunately, he had sunk $35,000 into this club. Very small place, and it didn't make it. So it was later changed to another place called the Jabberwock, and I don't think that lasted a little while longer, but I think did a lot of different things. This complete edition has 14 tracks as opposed to the original 6-track album that originally came out. And this includes all the previous alternate takes, and it has the complete unedited master take of the title tune of this Full House. So we're going to open this up. We're going to take a listen to it, go a little bit more into what's on this record and why you may be interested in picking it up. So this is a 3 LP set. So let's open this up and check it out. Let me see if I can get the old razor blade here and make sure I don't damage this. If you guys haven't subscribed, I appreciate you guys doing so. And this channel here is a hobby of mine. I just like sharing good music with you guys and talking about the pressings, and hopefully giving you an idea of whether or not these records are something you might want to spend your hard-earned money on. I'm listening to this on an Ortofon, the Fluence RT85 with the Ortofon Blue going through a shit Monty preamp into Yamaha HS8 speakers. All right, so let's open this up. Has a little side card there that goes around it. Let's see what this looks like here. Tri-gatefold. Looks like you got some nice liner notes there. So what I'm going to do is pull out the first record, and I try to play something off of each record. So just to kind of make sure that all the records are flat, they all sound okay. You get a complete review here. So I appreciate you guys sticking with me for the review. And this right here is, it's got a Riverside label. It does have a poly liner, poly sleeve, so that's nice, because I always complain about it if it's not. So there you go. There's your label. All right. So there's also a additional take. You have a second take of Blues and Boogie, which is included on this record. You've got 2 additional takes of SOS and Born to Be Blue on this. So I'm going to spray this off with some distilled water. A little bit about Wes Montgomery. I'm sure those of you who are probably watching this are probably familiar that he played with his fingers. He was a self-taught guitar player. Charlie Christian was his first inspiration. And at the age of 20, he was already performing in clubs in Indianapolis. And but he always had side jobs when he was first started to play. You know, I think he was a milkman at one point, and he worked as a welder at another point, and was still, you know, gigging and traveling around doing jazz gigs. So I think Wes definitely paid his dues, and had a family to support. And so really, you know, he to me, he's just kind of like an old school, down-to-earth, hard-working dude that, you know, loved to play jazz, but was also a family guy and a hard-working musician. So, all right, we're going to drop this on. And of course, Wes died of a heart attack at just 45 years old in 1968. So, unfortunately, we don't have, you know, as much material as we would have hoped to have had from him. So I'm going to put on this. So here's the original issue. You had 6 tracks. You had Full House, I've Grown Accustomed to Her Face, Blues and Boogie, Kariba, Come Rain or Come Shine, and SOS. That was the original album. On this, you've got the original album, and then you've got the alternate takes. So we'll talk a little bit more about what those, exactly what those are here as we go. So let's put this on, see how this sounds. I don't have anything, the original, to compare it to. Now, this material was available in a couple other places, one being this box set, this Wes Montgomery box set. This does have these full recordings in this, but this has all been remastered by Joe Tarantino. So for this vinyl release, so let's check it out. So this is Full House. Pretty cool pictures here. Seems to, you know, average quality. It's a decent card stock. So far, nice, quiet, pressing, flat. Sounds really good. Guitar sounds fantastic. fantastic. Kind of favors the left side a little bit. Drums and bass favor the right side, but nice mix. Warm sounding. Paul Chambers' bass is over here, more to the right side. Wing Kelly's piano is a little more on this side. It's a nice mix, you can hear everything. Fantastic playing, of course. If you like jazz guitar, this is a great record. Another nice thing about this album are the length of the tunes, in my opinion. I like when you've got a 9-minute tune, 7-minute tune where these guys get a chance to play. And of course, I love hearing Wes play and really be able to do a lot of different things. So there's a lot of room here for these guys to play on most of these tunes. Johnny Griffin, more on the left side. Nice warm sound. For a live recording, it does sound really good. So I think, you know, don't be worried about the quality. It's a nice sounding recording, and it's so far very quiet. So let's talk about the tracks across these 3 records. You've got the full album on the first, the 6 songs. Side C and D, you got Full House, again, which is the unedited version. You've got Blues and Boogie, Take 1 alternate. On side D, you've got Kariba, which is an alternate take, the first take. Come Rain or Come Shine, the first take alternate. On the 3rd record, you have on side E 2 versions of SOS, take 1 alternate, take 2 alternate. And then you've got on side F, Born to Be Blue, take 1 and take 2 outtakes. So that's your whole 3 record set there. So a lot of material here. And again, this one was also on sale and still may be on sale. Kraft had a sale on some of their stuff. And the Hot House recordings, if you didn't see the review on that, go check that out, because both of these were on sale and they're both nice sets to have. So after this tune's over, I'm gonna put on the 2nd record and play a tune off of that. You have just enough crowd noise there, you know. I'm always a big fan of live records. And I just think that a lot of times the energy that you get off a live record, it's tough to get off a studio recording. These records look pretty clean. There's no debris or anything on them. And it's been dead quiet. really nice. You really can hear everything well. It's got decent depth to it. Nice. So far I'm digging this. This is a really nice sounding recording. I'm going to put on the second record. We'll play a tune off of that. So that way I can go through and just let you know all three of the records in the set are, you know, good. So I'm going to drop on side D, second side of the second record, Kariba, take one alternate. It's an 8.5 minute tune. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Leave your comments, please. Let me know what you think of this album, if you're very familiar with it, if it's one of your favorite Wes Montgomery records. People say that this was really Wes at the top of his game. So even though this was a live recording, Keaton, who's kind of used it as a semi-recording session as well. That's why you have different alternate takes on these tunes. Yeah, for you straight ahead jazz fans, this is a great record. I'm gonna get the third album out, clean it off. Again, nice clean records. This one's flat, so far quiet. So pretty good pressing so far. Also, stay tuned. Hopefully, I'm trying to line up some more interviews with some musicians to talk about some of the records that I'm doing reviews on. So stay tuned for that. I hope to have some of those coming up in the next couple of weeks. Coming up, I'll be doing a review on this Enrico Rava album. So this will be coming up soon. Also be doing a review of this Christian McBride live album from the Vanguard. This will be coming up as well, so stay tuned for that. Such a unique way of playing guitar. You know, you really can't. I don't know that many people that don't like Wes Montgomery, you know. bit more about the title track. So the original tune, Full House, on the album was a little over 9.5 minutes. That's a composite of 2 takes. So you have over 9-minute track. But what you have on the alternate track, title track, is the full unedited version of Full House instead of 2 combined takes. So and it just goes to show you, just because a record says it's a live record doesn't mean there wasn't any editing done to it. And as I've talked about before, like with the Newport recordings and the way George Avakian did things over at Columbia, they would do edits. They would come back, they would already have the studio booked to come back and fix things, overdub things. So editing is done, and a lot of these live recordings for the original albums, a lot of times they had to do it because of time constraints, things like that. Or one ending was better than another ending, and you would edit on and, you know, pick the best ending type thing. So even though a lot of these jazz albums say they're live, does not mean that they're not edited. So after this, I'm gonna put on Born to Be Blue off of side F of the 3rd record. And so we'll have had a listen off of all 3 records. Appreciate you guys giving the thumbs up, subscribing, sharing the videos with other people, and most of all, your comments. Again, I love hearing what you guys have to say about these albums and your take on you know, whether you own the album, you have the original, you've compared it to the original, things like that. I love hearing, you know, your guys' thoughts on the comments section. So whenever I see a comment pop up, I always get excited to see what you guys have to say. I'll read all the comments. So I think if you look around, you can find this for around $60. A 3-record set, it's a pretty good deal in my opinion. Just for the quality of the recordings and pictures. Got some liner notes. All right, so I'm gonna pull this off. We're gonna put on the third record, side F, Born to Be Blue, which is an old Mel Torme tune. And we're gonna have a listen to that, and then we'll close out the video on that tune. So thanks for hanging out. Side F, Born to Be Blue. Got 2 takes, alternate takes there, or outtakes is what they're called. Each over 7 minutes long. And here's the little side. Has your tunes. Here you can see right there where it talks about the title track, if you can read it there. Wow, it's great playing. So again, another quiet. This third record's quiet. There's no noise on it. It's flat. So far it's been a pristine pressing. It sounds fantastic. And all of the, I will say, when you compare the original, so the actual album itself, which is the first record, but when you go to all the outtakes and the alternate takes, the sound quality does not change. In other words, it's a very consistent listen throughout all three of these LPs so far, what you've heard. The alternate takes are not, they sound just as good as the regular takes. So thumbs up to this. I think this is a hit. I think this is worth picking up, in my opinion, if you're a Wes Montgomery fan. A lot of music here to listen to, and for straight ahead jazz fans, I think that this is worth picking up. So I appreciate you guys joining me, and happy listening to you all out there, and we'll be doing more reviews again. Hang out, look for new drops every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 4 p.m. Central Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. There'll be a new review 5 days a week of different albums. A lot of jazz stuff, but also some other genres as well. So stay tuned for those. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And I hate to cut off this wonderful playing. Great player, and the tone that he gets with his fingers, just playing with his thumb primarily. Yeah, not one pop, not nothing. I mean, the pressings have been flawless so far. All right, folks, we'll talk to you on the next video. Happy listening. Take care.